everybody. Welcome to the Ronline Report. Today's guest, you should know very well if you follow the sport in any way. He is the pro maker. He's a former professional bodybuilder himself, IFBB Pro League. He's also been the coach to people like Greene, Branch Warren, Dennis James, currently Dexter Jackson, for the past 10 years, Dexter Jackson, all the way from Rochester, New York. George Farah. How are you, George?
What's up, my brother? What's up, MD?
So it's been a long time since we did one of these, George. A long time.
I know. Well, dude, the last time you talked to me, I was like practically dying.
Yeah. Well, I don't think I even knew. I don't think you were telling people.
No. We talked about it briefly, but God's good, man.
Yeah. So let's start off from the back. You're doing well now. Thank the Lord. But what was the whole process? Because everyone knows the old story. You got shot 3 times. You had an ileostomy. So you've been close to death more than once in your life already. But what was this whole cancer process? When did you know something was wrong? How did you know something was wrong? Because this is something, if it doesn't affect every one of you watching this, it's going to affect someone you love, because cancer is just so pervasive in this world. So
it's really, it's a long story to tell you the whole thing, but let's put it this way, man. I was practically traveling. I was traveling from to go do seminar for Gianrico in Italy.
Okay.
And I was over Ireland, and I'm texting my wife. Usually when you're on business class, you sleep. And she said, "What's wrong? Why you're not sleeping?" I said, "Honey, I can't go to the bathroom." And mind you, we were for 8 months getting treated for hemorrhoids, thinking it's hemorrhoid that's what's causing the whole problem, because they checked my prostate, bladder, everything on the inside looks phenomenal. And, I figure, well, maybe it's the hemorrhoid. They say it's secondary, could cause. It's not, man. Come to find out, went there. I don't know how I made it to Italy. To be honest with you, I don't know how. Luckily, the people I know there, one of the guy was a surgeon. He said, "What's wrong?" I told him what's going on. He said, "Listen, man, you should get scope." I said, "I did. I asked the guy 3 times to get scope, but how some young doctors, surgeon, they think they know it all. And there's nothing wrong with doctors. Don't get me wrong. I'm married to one. Doctors are phenomenal. But make the story short. When I come back, I came back from Italy. I went there. He said, "Oh, we need to do Botox." I'm like, "Dude, you're not gonna do anything except scope me." And when he scoped me, we were almost stage 4, man. It was like just.
So let's back up. You had asked for a colonoscopy, right? And they denied you. Usually it's the other way around.
He kept telling me, "You're in your 40s. You just had it 5 years ago. You shouldn't have no problem." I'm like, "Yeah, but dude, I know my body. That's what I do for a living.
Right.
I teach people how to learn, how to feel certain things and stuff." And I kept telling him, I kept pointing. I'm like, "From here to here, there's something's wrong." Like, no, it's the hemorrhoids. I'll make the story short. It's not the hemorrhoids. It came back, his face white as a ghost. He thought I was going to sue him or something. Like, my wife, she said, "Listen, George doesn't sue people, but I'll suggest you apologize from him, because if he see you, he might knock you out." But he called me, apologized. Obviously, I got a different surgeon, and it was a mess, man. Ron, honestly, I want people to know, man, if anybody in your family have any type of sickness or disease like this, don't leave them alone. As strong as I am, and you know how I am. My mind is, like I always say, mind over matter, and I'm strong, and I teach people to be focused. But man, even me, the devil almost got a hold of me, and I almost ended my life. And this is the first time I say it, in the open. It is hard, man. So if somebody in your family is suffering, be there. Your friend, be there. All the guys that I called friend and stuff, man, none of them was there. It's just so funny, like how people disappear. Like I had company. I have so many people working for me. When they need the money, they were always there. But then, when I'm sick, nobody was there. Wow. So it's really tough. I really want to tell people, man, it's very important to be to be there for somebody who's sick, in the down. And I want to mention something that's very important. From all these guys that they were my friends and clients or whatever, like few of them contacted me And I'm not going to deny that. Like Dexter was there, Kai was there, like a few the guys that were, but you know who was there the most, man?
No.
Who is they surprised the hell out of me, is Mr. Jim Manion.
Wow.
Let me tell you something. People wonder why I love that guy and why and I will always be loyal to the Manion, because these guys never left me alone. Mr. Manion will leave everything, and every week will spend about an hour with me. An hour on the phone. As a matter of fact, one time, after a show, I think Night of Champion or something, he went to L.A.
Yeah.
They had the show there or whatever. And because that week he missed it, he was so upset. He calls me. He goes, "I'm sorry, George, I missed it." I said, "Boss, I love you." He have called me so many times. You guys don't even know. And another person I need to mention is Mr. Steve Weinberger. He was also awesome. He called me all the time. He was like a brother. He always told me, "I love you." And everybody see that big, tough Steve, but nobody know the Steve, the one that have the beautiful heart.
Yeah.
So those guys, man, I owe my life to them and to my family, of course. But those are the people that really stuck by me when I was really, really, really down, man. Really down. And they got me out of the gutter. And thank God I'm here and I'm doing better than ever. And this is almost now 3 years I'm cancer free.
Wow. So for those who don't, I'm not that well informed either on these medical terms that the oncology uses. Stage 4 would be the final stage, I'm assuming?
Yes, that's it. That's when when they give me about like maximum 25% chance to live.
Wow.
But you know what? The life in the hands of God, we all know. And you know what, man? These doctors did an amazing job, and I helped them a lot. It's so funny that when I first started talking to them about diets and alkaline and how you should beat cancer, how you should not beat cancer, and feed it, and like they're looking at me like I'm talking out of like space or some.
Right.
But at the end, they end up offering me a contract. After 3-4 months, because they couldn't believe how quickly I helped them shrink it.
Wow.
And it's so funny. It's not the cancer that really bothered me, because I took it from a marker of 255, and everybody know that's like it's all over spreading, to 0. To 0 in a matter of like 4 or 5 months. What hurt me the most is the surgery, going in there and taking everything and whatever was attached. Remember, you guys started in the colorectal, went to the colon, went to the bladder, went to the prostate, and almost to the kidney. So it was really massive. It was huge. In order for them to take it, that's when I had a lot of problem. That's where the suffering started. And I got to tell you something, man. I was taking so much opioid. And here's a guy, never took anything in my life. I never had a sip of alcohol, never smoked, no drugs, no nothing. And all of a sudden, I'm taking so much opioid. And I don't know if I was going or coming, forgetting my name. And it's so funny. The whole thing started as my wife. This is really about just about a year or so ago. She was showing me pictures. She said, "You remember the good time we had, on New Year's Eve over your sister?" I'm looking, I'm like, "We were over my sister?" Dude, I didn't even know. This is, it's funny right now.
Yeah.
But I didn't even know. I said, "Honey, whatever I'm taking, I'm stopping." She goes, "Are you crazy? You know the pain I'm in?" Now I'm going to tell you something, Ron, and a lot of people don't know that. I have such a good, personality and outgoing. You know how I am.
Yeah.
And I don't have, like how they have people, they get addictive personality. I'm like the opposite.
Really?
I said, I'm stopping that stuff, and I start tapering it. Let me tell you something. As soon as I stopped it took me about a month to taper off, because you don't want to take it right away off your system. It took me about a month. Man, after that month, I was like, oh my God, I'm not in pain. So that stuff actually making me believe that I'm in pain. And I kept taking more and more. No wonder why these poor people get hooked on it. And as soon as I stopped it, Ron, I'm back in the gym, working out, gaining weight, eating my food. Amazing. All of a sudden, I got my life back. I got my life back, man. I feel so bad for the guys that I helped for the Olympia, like Dexter and stuff, because I was like, he's talking to me, I'm in the hospital. I'm like on the La La Land. I had no idea last year what the hell was going on, And I don't blame a lot of the people left me. And you know, this year, look at how Dexter looked.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm looking how all my guys look. Every guy I'm touched from China Olympia to India Olympia, all my guys are winning again. You know why? Because I had my state of mind back, man. You know what I'm saying? And this is something very important. People, they should know, man. If you have anybody, your brother, your sister, mother, uncle, aunt, it doesn't matter, even your friend, if they are taking that freaking crazy medicine that they're handing it like it's nothing, you know, that opioid, it's unbelievable. Do the best you can to get them off, because I'm telling you, they will have their life back. And thank God I have my life back.
Let me back up, George, to when you were diagnosed, when that doctor came back in the room and told you, you know, you're a very positive person. I can't imagine what it would be like to hear that from a doctor telling me you have a giant mass in your colon and, you know, it's spreading to here and to there. You know, how did you not just freak out and get really depressed, like I think the natural reaction of a person would be?
You know what it is, Ron, is when I get diagnosed with this, before we even went to do, you know, the scope, me and my wife looked at each other. I told her, I know I have cancer. She said, don't say that.
Wow.
But, you know, deep inside, she knows. She's a medical director. My wife, she's duly boarded. She's a very brilliant doctor, you know. Yeah. She knows that there's something, you know what I mean? And I know, man, I know there's something is wrong. And so I was kind of like prepared to hear the worst. But to be honest with you, I did not know that it's going to be that big. You know what I mean? I don't know it was going to be that, you know, advanced. I mean, I thought it would be something like, but, you know, and even with that, Ron, I said, you know what, man, you can't be negative. You know, we all know positive thinking. You know, I drilled it with every one of my clients. You know, sometimes you'll see one of my clients, you'll be like, oh my God, I can't believe how much this guy changed and how he won and stuff. You know why? Because the positive thinking I drill into them. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like how we, you know, Kai always talking about thought become things. You know what I mean? This is my thing, man. This is like really like whatever you think, you know, if you think positive things going to happen to you. And I took it there, and we went to our appointment. And like I said, we went to a hospital here in town, and we met, you know, the staff there, a couple of the guys that they were going to be. And, you know, they were giving me between whatever, 17 to 25% at that time. And he said, you should be lucky you have that point. I looked at him, I said, and you should be lucky, you know what I mean, that I'm still talking to you. Yeah. And I said, I looked at my wife, I said, let's get out of here. He goes, what's the matter? I said, first of all, if you want to tell me something like this, you should have said it between me and you, not in front of my wife. He goes, well, your wife is a doctor. I said, I don't care. She's still a human. That's my wife. You know what I mean? Yeah. I said, but thank you, but no thanks. You're not going to be my doctor. Sure enough, we went somewhere else, you know what I mean, to another, you know, hospital. And the guy I met there, Dr. you know, Attenhausen, he's an amazing guy. And he's been doing it for like, he's 60 some years old. He's been taking care of, you know, doing surgery for cancer and stuff. And he said, listen, man, nothing is impossible. I can see your attitude and I know you can beat it. I'm like, he didn't even have to say anything. I mean, you know, doctor of a doctor kind of told us about him. And literally we called him the day before. He said, I want to meet you tomorrow. He met me because he said he's going on vacation. So he met me at 11 in the morning. So he would literally have the night before till 11 in the morning to look at my, you know, my stuff, like, you know, my MRI and all that. Yeah. And he came next day so prepared. He told me, listen, we could do this, we could do that. He goes, I bet it's the bullets fragment that what caused it. You know, like he was really like kind of like how I think about stuff. You know, because
hold on.
Nobody knows the cause.
Back up? Did you say the bullet fragments that were stuck in your body all these years?
Yes,
they caused the cancer.
They were there for 19 years, bro, and you all know the lead caused, you know, cancer. You couldn't imagine the lead stuck inside you with all your intestines around it and all that. So I truly believe, you know, that this is what started. Because we, you know, obviously the only way they will be able to, you know, heal something if they know the cause. And until today, we don't know the cause of cancer because it comes with million forms and, you know, million ways. Right. But I truly believe, because I did the gene test and because we had nobody in my family, you know, both my grandparents lived to be well in their 90s, and my mom is in her 80s, and my dad's almost 90. Wow. So we know it's you know, it's not in our gene, but it's something definitely happened from environmental, and due to that stuff. And mind you, I was eating bad the last 6 7 years, before the cancer, because I'm not competing anymore. So you travel first class all over, like I'm blessed. I have, a company was going. I have the life. I can go anywhere, and best food, best thing. So it really, like, the best food wasn't doing me any good because I was having a lot of dessert, a lot of stuff, and we all know that's the cancer's best friend is sugar.
Well, so I don't know how cancer, various forms are treated, but you had the first step was getting the big mass removed, right? You had
No, they didn't. No? They couldn't remove anything because it's so big.
Oh, geez.
And remember, if you would touch it while it's that big, you don't want anything to spread inside you. So we decided to do chemo, and while we're doing the chemo, thanks to my big brother Steve Blackman, he started sending me a lot of studies and research. And with everything I kind of like believe in, I'm like, oh my God, this makes sense. You know what I mean? So he was like big help too, Steve. Like for an example, I was taking, he found me a Chinese study that if you take 10 milligram of melatonin during your chemo, it does you amazing. It kind of like double the amount of
it makes it that much more effective.
Yes, because
Wow.
like sleep is very important, man. And if you sleep deprived, you all know your immunity goes down. So it's all what I did is kind of I took my immune system and I start thinking of a way how to make it better, how to make my immune system strong, how to take it from being too acidic, from eating rice, white rice, and eating bread and eating sugary stuff, to make it like eating more alkaline, to help my body heal itself. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So I did everything possible to make my immune system, to boost my immune system while doing the chemo. As a matter of fact, it's so funny that, the first time I go to the chemo place, they're giving everybody freaking bologna sandwich with cheese. I'm like, are you kidding me? So I start talking to the doctor, like, what do you mean? I'm like, what do you mean? This stuff is causing cancer. That's why I had cancer,
The nitrates.
So it's so funny. They start, I start hooking them up with people in our area, getting the Mediterranean diets and stuff going. And really, they listened to me, man, because they saw like really how much, because I was the only one in the whole cancer. And this is like we're talking about a huge cancer center. I was the only one receiving, the treatment, the strongest treatment. And I'm not throwing up, not vomiting, not missing my meals. As a matter of fact, I started gaining weight, and they were looking at each other like, what the hell's going on? You know what I mean? And the poor people around me, kids, older people, everybody's like throwing up because that chemo is nasty, man. We know chemo kills cancer, but kills a lot of stuff if you let it. Right. So you have to take care of yourself, like start eating perfect. You got to be, so you got to help the doctors. Like a lot of guys send me emails, they said, man, those doctors just want to make money. Dude, doctors are not the one. If you talk about pharmaceutical company, it's one thing.
Yeah.
But doctors, they want to pour their heart and soul into saving you. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
These doctors are my friends, man, who break bread together. My wife is there, she was leading the team. So it's not the doctors. It's pharmaceutical company. Yeah, they want to make money. But honestly, I think if they found a cure, they will patent it and sell it for thousands of dollars.
Sure.
But they still haven't found the cure, man. So you have to help the doctors, do your part too.
So like you said, chemo. I've known a lot of people. My late dad went through. I've seen a lot of people go through chemo over the years, and it's just brutal with the hair loss and the nausea, and they all lose weight. You saying because you were able to control your diet and your supplementation so well, you didn't experience any of that yourself?
None, man. Wow. Didn't lose my hair. I was eating. I was gaining weight. I was actually, they give me they do your treatment and they give you the chemo ball, work on gravity so you carry it on you and keep feeding you chemo while you're at home. I'll go to the gym with the chemo ball and work out.
Oh my goodness.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like, what I tell people, man, like people when they get sick, they always want to, rest up and stay home and stuff. You know what I tell them? Run. They're like, what? I'm like, run. Sweat. I said, dude, we came, just think about it like as a caveman, and we're in a jungle, right?
Yeah.
And you're sick. and the lion come to attack. Hold on, the doctor tell me I gotta relax. It's not that way, bro. The lion's gonna eat you. You gotta get up and run, brother. You gotta run. Wow. So this is what I tell people. You know, they think I'm crazy, man. I was telling the doctors that, they look at me like, what's wrong with that guy? Like my wife, she goes, what are you doing on a treadmill? They tell you to rest. I'm like, honey, I can't. I want to sweat. I want to sweat. I want to feel human. I want to feel good. I want to get hungry. So, you know, the cardio make me hungry. The good food make me hungry. Yeah. You know, stay away from junk food, you know, because what they tell you when you're at chemo, just eat whatever you can, calorie high. So go to McDonald's and stuff. And those poor guys are doing it, and they're vomiting. You're not getting any of that nutrient. So eat clean. I tell you, eat clean, eat good, so you can feel good about yourself. And that's the bottom line, man. Yeah, that's how you beat any disease.
I know you've talked about in other interviews, but I just want you to touch on it here if you could. Is you said sugar is the perfect environment for cancer to thrive and grow in.
Ron, you don't even know how many people attack me about that. But let me just say very easy, okay? Yeah. When they set me on that chair and they put the scope, you know, they want to scan you and they want to scope you and they want to see where the cancer is. You know what they do? They give you glucose. They give you sugar in your vein.
Oh, nice.
So they can see where the cancer is attacking it, where is the most cancer. So I don't understand. What's the big deal? You know, it doesn't need, you know, somebody who's so freaking genius to know sugar, it's the best environment for cancer. Sugar feed cancer. I'm not saying to people don't eat carbs. Listen, if you don't have cancer, God bless you. Eat carbs, everything in moderation. Just watch it. There's a lot of sugar out there. Man, there's sugar in Italian dressing. Are you serious?
Oh, yeah.
My mom is Sicilian. I never had freaking sugar in our Italian dressing. They put a vinegar, lemon juice, and some garlic and olive oil. You know what I'm saying?
But the
wasn't
problem,
they found out that the sugar is such a good, you know, preservative. They're using it in everything. You know, go on the FDA. What the FDA allow us to have, you know, 30 grams of sugar a day. Guess what? That's your cereal breakfast is double that. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And that's why I don't understand why people are attacking me. I'm trying to help everybody.
Well,
that's all.
Who's attacking you?
Oh my God! I put a video about sugar.
Yeah.
You gotta see it. This is wrong, and this is this, and this is that, and you're not a doctor. I'm like, dude, if I want to be a doctor, I wouldn't have walked away from my class. I don't want to be a doctor. You know what I'm saying? Hey, we have enough doctors in my family. What I'm trying to say is that I want to speak my mind, man. I don't want to just every time I turn around say something. Hey, here he goes a fine. No, I want to speak my mind. Sugar kills you. Listen, there's nothing good about sugar. I don't care what anybody said. You know, and after I put that video, so many studies came out right after, talking about like, you know, a little bit of juice or soda, a little bit of real natural juice or soda. They're saying up your cancer by 18 to 22%. So obviously, you know, there's something have to do with the sugar that we need to stay away from. I'm not saying if you're healthy and stuff, don't have sugar, don't have carbs. No, but you know what? Watch it. Watch your sugar intake. There's a lot of crap out there, man. They're adding sugar to almost everything. That GMO is killing people. And you know, I got to speak it, man. I got to pay it forward. God gave me another chance in life. And all what I'm doing, I'm trying to give the other friend of mine, human, you know, the people in our sport that we all love. I just want to give them an idea, man. Just back off the sugar. You know what I'm saying?
Is anybody, I mean, you know, cancer's, it's so, like I said, millions and millions of people with cancer. It's such a big problem. It's a big business in the medical industry. Are there any studies being done? Have there been studies to link, you know, a low carb, low sugar diet as far as people with cancer increasing their survival rates?
Well, you know, let me put it this way to you, okay? I couldn't do keto because of my kidney problem. You know what I mean? I already been shot in one kidney and the cancer went on the other side. So I'm kind of like in the mess side. So what I did though, instead, how can I control? The most important thing is controlling your insulin. We know as long as you control your insulin and your pancreas not releasing much, you're not going to feed cancer. That's the bottom line. So what I did is I eliminate sugar completely out of my life. And I went to plant-based diet, you know, a lot of plants, a lot of stuff. And I even eliminate a lot of protein. I only stuck with some fish, you know, like the sake fish, you know, like the wild caught salmon or wild caught trout, because I believe the only two probably were alkaline. I mean, that's what I believe. But right now, I have actually a doctor who's good friend of mine, who have the sinus, cancer, and those are one of the worst, because remember, your sinus, your brain, you're gone. You know what I'm saying? So they can't do like crazy amount of radiation and stuff. So you have to go on one of the heaviest chemo you can get. And you know what? I start talking to him. His attitude just like mine. Dr. Ashman is an amazing guy. His attitude is just like mine. As a matter of fact, because my house, as you can see, like it's like living in the jungle, and this are the back house. So I made him, live in the back house, with me. So we keep an eye. Him and his wife came here. They're like family to me, because he was one of my urologists. And you know what? In 3 months, the cancer is almost gone because he went on keto diet. So he's not feeding, he's not having any sugar, And when I say keto, it's not the keto like, the one bodybuilders do. They think, oh, you can have protein and you'll be all right. No. Keto, that means not more than 25% protein, and the rest going to be all good fat. Oh, wow. All good fats, only 5% carbs. You know what I mean? And the carbs going to come from like, some good source of vegetables, some cucumbers, but like your calories going to be like from some avocado, olive oil, coconut oil. So all the good, monounsaturated, the good fats, you know what I'm saying? The EFAs. And you know what? God bless him, man. He's doing amazing. I'm so proud of him. And the man is 80. He's not a young guy, and he's ready to go to work. Huh. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Everybody told him, he lost his hair and everything because the chemo was amazing and he's older, but at least he's up and running. He's doing good. And other friend of ours too, she's another doctor and she had breast cancer and went to her lung, and same thing. She went on keto and she's doing amazing. So what I'm trying to say is, whatever you do, man, if you have any cancer in your family, seriously, try to make sugar is your enemy. Because the bottom line, we're not young kids, man. What do you want, a cookie little boy? No. We're bodybuilders, man. I mean, you see how we diet. We're so animate about food, man, that, I remember back in the 80s, I dieted for the whole 16 weeks, not a little bit of salt, because I thought the salt was going to hurt me. Right. Come to find out, now I let everybody keep the salt all the way till then. But I'm saying, I tried so many things on myself. And we're very strong-minded bodybuilder. It's very tough sport. You did it, Ron. I did it. All the guys out there listening to us, they know how tough we are on ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But so be tough on yourself. You're not a little kid. Stay away from sugar. Trust me. Now, if you don't have cancer, you can have sugar. But even at that, don't have it too much, because there's been so many studies. And I'm sure a lot of people now, they're going to go to Google. So if me and you, Ron, we're sitting together, you had water and I had some juice, right? Yeah. Or some pop or whatever with sugar. Yeah. And we go and sit down next to Steve or John or whatever, and you have cold, because you had water and I had the sugar, I have 60 to 80% chance of catching this cold, because the sugar took my immune system to the floor. You see what I'm saying? Wow. So this is how bad sugar. So why we need it? I don't understand.
Well, what I don't understand is, it sounds to me like a lot of people with cancer could beat cancer if they had this information. This would vastly improve the chance of survival for a lot of people. Why isn't this information out there?
Might not be a lot of people, might not be 100% of the people, but I guarantee you, a lot of people, they might not like what I'm going to say, but over 90% of the people, they can beat cancer if they eliminate sugar. And you know what? The thing is, there is information out there. There's a lot of information out there, but people don't want to talk about it, man. People, I don't know. Like you said, it's a great business. Like I go to the cancer center. I try to donate sometimes and stuff. I mean, my God, they don't even have a place. They're packed. They're building another, So it's a good business. And let's put it this way, the pharmaceutical company, I think they made a little over $2 trillion, last year. So business is good, brother. So you know what? Yeah. And like I said, it's not the doctor, you guys. It's not. The doctors wants to do their best to help you out. But there's a lot of, between the pharmaceutical company and the food industry out there, they have something, man, together going on to really like keep us sick. And we need to be wise. We need to be smart. We need to read. There's a lot of information out there. Like, a few years back, Harvard came up with a study that they said, well, sugar doesn't affect you. A doctor over there, I don't want to say his name, but he said, oh, it's not the really sugar. There's not big proof. But yet, 2 weeks later, he got $4 million for his study from Kellogg's. Are you kidding me? What do you think? We're stupid?
They make all that sugary kids cereal, Kellogg's.
But what I'm trying to tell you, Ron, people don't want to read this between the line, man, and they're attacking me and stuff. I'm like, I don't really care, dude. I want to speak my mind, and I want to speak what's in my heart, and I want to say it. And you know what? Our MD listener, seriously, they should listen, man, to what I'm saying. Maybe if they take it in a grain of salt, but start thinking about what I'm saying. Just make a bet with yourself. Can you finish a day with only 30 grams of sugar on what we eat? You're going to be amazed. You are going to be amazed.
Wow. That's a lot to ask. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Sugar's in everything. It's in everything.
Yes. Amen.
All right, let's shift gears to bodybuilding talk, George. I want to refresh, because I know a lot of people that watch these interviews are younger, so they don't know the history of sometimes who I'm talking to. They might realize George Farah is this famous guru, coach, whatever you want to call him, but I don't think they realize you were a champion bodybuilder in your own right for a very long time.
Yes, sir.
You competed as a pro. Well, first of all, you turned pro 2000 Nationals and lost the overall to some guy named Victor Martinez.
Yes, sir.
He's okay. He's not bad. But
he's my brother.
You went on to compete for 9 years as a pro, I believe it was. And we were talking at dinner back in Tampa a few nights ago. Who were some of the guys that you were able to place higher than or beat during those years? There's some big names.
Clients.
Most of your clients, yeah. Kai, you beat Kai.
Most of my, I beat Kai, I beat Branch, I beat Dennis James, I beat Victor, I beat Melvin Anthony, I beat Paul Delat, I beat Nasser Somebody, I beat Chris Cormier. So I beat some people, man, my days. And mind you, I turned pro as a middleweight. Right. But that's why, I had a lot of people coming to me because I'm not a big believer in a lot of drugs because, when I got shot, I lost one kidney. So obviously I couldn't use a lot of stuff. And another big factor that a lot of people, they're destroying their life and losing their kidneys, and it's the diuretic. And that's something I don't like to use. And I always tell bodybuilders, if you're not ready 2 weeks before the show, you're not ready. You know what I'm saying? But, diuretic's not going to take fat, man. I don't know why people think that you should use it. You should use it. We all see Dexter, how we look. Ask him what we use for diuretic. Nothing. You know what I'm trying to say? So, it's really sometimes diuretic, man, you will look amazing, and it take you the other way around. You look terrible. You flat. So I truly believe if you want to use something, use it very little. Talk to your doctor. Be smart about it, man. Don't just abuse stuff, because I need people to know.
Your doctor's not going to give you a blessing to take like a Diazide or something.
Well, you know what? If he's giving it to your grandma, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. We know that this is very, very little. It's not going to hurt you or whatever. What I'm trying to say is, Ron, the bottom line, man, I want those younger guys, the people that come into me, and and I hate to say it, but a lot of the guys, they don't want to continue with me. They either love me and stay with me, or they literally tell me like, "Oh, you're not giving us what you tell Kai or Dexter." I'm like, dude, you're taking more than Kai. You know what I mean? Like, they don't understand. They think the more the better.
Of course.
And so I'm the wrong guy for that. I'm the wrong guy, because with me, it's all about nutrition. I got to do it with that. And just for one fact, Ron, because those young guys, they don't know that, when they're in their 50s and 60s and 70s, we're all going to die. But guess what? There is a good way of dying. Dying in your sleep, nice, you're in your 80s or whatever. Then dying, suffering from in your 50s to your 70s and 80s, suffering, having strokes, having a kidney problem, being on dialysis stuff. There is life after bodybuilding, you guys. And that's all what I'm trying to preach, brother. That's it.
So it must drive you insane. And I don't know how much of it you're aware, but I'll say his name, Boston Lloyd. I don't hate Boston, but I think he got a lot of young minds warped, poisoned even, to the idea that mega doses of drugs were necessary. If you say Kai doesn't use that much, they'll say you're a liar. Kai uses 10 times, 100 times, 1,000 times that much. That's why he looks like that. So you got 21-year-old kids on 2 grams of Tren a week and popping 4 Anadrols a day and just, thinking more. And they never
honestly,
come off. I mean, you must be horrified because this has been going on for years now.
You know what I'm going to tell you for this whole thing? First of all, opinion, just like Clint Eastwood said, opinion are like assholes and they all stink again. Personally, everybody have one and they all stink. But I'm going to tell you something that will put a close and end to this, okay?
Okay.
You're talking about that kid Lloyd. He contacted me a long time ago. He seems like a very nice guy.
He is.
But everybody is entitled to say, what's on his mind, whatever. But Lloyd have probably taken more than anybody, right?
He's taken a lot. So
if it's about taking drugs, how come he's not pro? How come he's not Mr. Olympia? You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Listen, brother, there's a lot of stuff involved here, okay? To be pro and to be successful pro. Let's start with genetic. Let's start, like I always say it, it's a necklace around your neck. If it's missing one link, it's not going to make a necklace. Bottom line. So your sleep have to be good. Your water have to be good. Your nutrition should be 80%. You know what? Yes, I'm not going to lie. We all use steroids. We all did it to become pro. But you know what? The better is not, the more is not the better. Let's put it that way. You know what I'm saying? And I know that for the fact. I couldn't take quarter of what these guys take. You know what I mean? And I made it to be pro from middleweight to 218 on the Olympia, to go 3 times the big dance. That's amazing from somebody who was like, he was nobody to go 3 times to the Olympia. So I'm blessed. And honestly, anybody that will work with me, they will tell you, dude, I'm going to tell you something. I can go out on the record and say it. Actually, no, I better not put names, but somebody turned pro. And he told me I was helping him. He said when he did the teen national, his coach put him on 3 times the amount that I put him going to the Olympia, and he placed his best ever at the Olympia.
Wow.
You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So it's not, dude. It's not the drugs. I'm sorry, Lloyd. It is not the drugs, and we shouldn't be telling the people that because it's wrong.
I don't know if you agree with this or not, but my theory on that is, there's a huge genetic component. Like, not everybody can play in the NBA. Not everyone's going to be a pro football player.
Absolutely.
These are specimens. These are special, gifted people, and so are the pros at the Olympia and the Arnold Classic. But it sucks if you're this kid looking at them and you want to be them, and you don't want to hear that, no, it's not going to happen. You don't have the muscle bellies. You don't have the structure.
Listen. I don't like to take anybody's dreams away.
Yeah.
There's no dream that you are willing to give it 100% and work hard towards it, that it's impossible not to happen, except if you have like a terrible genetic. Like you're not, then I have to tell you, dude, don't waste your time. But honestly, I seen people hard work earn them pro card. But it's not about, taking steroid. We all know, dude, when I worked with Big Rami, Rami will look at food he'll grow. He doesn't even have to eat that much. He will look at, and this is no joke, you guys. The same with Kai. Dude, Kai, like, he just blossom. Like, you give him something so little, and you're like, oh my God. Like, I can't believe it until now. I just sent him a diet the other day. You won't believe it, dude. I'm still giving him about 6 to 8 ounces of, like, a chicken at the meal. Somebody seeing a guy who's 300 pounds looking like Kai, be like, oh my God, this guy. No, it's not, you guys. This is a lot of genetic there. There's a lot of blessing. And, of course, a lot of hard work. So you have the genetic and you have the right mind, you're going to make it. And like you said, that's why not everybody in NBA. That's why not everybody in the NFL. And that's why not, everybody, IFBB Pro League. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because, like I told you again, if the drug was the answer, the guy who's talking that pushed drugs so much, and 1 of them and 2 of them died. I don't want to mention names.
Right.
They're pushing so much drugs, and guess what? They're not even pro. So what are you talking about? What are you telling people is the drug's going to make you? Why don't you be pro if the drug is the cancer? You see what I'm saying?
That's true.
Enough said, bro.
You just mentioned Kai. Kai has not competed for over 3 years now. He still looks exactly the same. He looks like he could step on. Every picture I see, he's super lean, big, round, full, thick. He looks exactly the same as when he was in the Arnold, the Olympia. And you're still coaching him. Is that what you said?
Yes. Kai's an amazing individual, man. Kai is just, he's the kind of guy. He tells me, he goes, you know what, George, you're right, man. When we go to gym, this is our office. Some people put their ties and suit and this is our office. So I got to represent. Kai is the kind of guy, he never wants to take his shirt off and not look like, wow, this Kai, man, he looks amazing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So competing or not, he have that same attitude, working out, eating good, send me pictures all the time he wants to make sure his coach get the blessing. Hey, Kai, do this. Hey, Kai, do that. Does the blood work, everything. Like he's a bodybuilder in heart, man. He loves bodybuilding. And we all know, like he's the uncrowned Mr. Olympia. Come on, I don't want to hear it.
Oh, yeah, that's true. But
I was there. I saw it with my own eyes, and I know he should have won, but it's okay. The judges have different opinions. You got to respect that. There's 11 of them, and the 11 make the calls. Maybe he missed it by 1 point or whatever they say. The bottom line is Kai is bodybuilding by heart, and he's always going to be bodybuilding by heart. And you know what? I'm not going to tell you he's not going to compete. I think we're going to have a big competition coming next year.
Yeah, well, I can't. I made a video and I had to pull it down immediately because I don't want anyone getting upset that they want. I'm sure they want to make the announcement about their big competition. But just to wrap up the Kai thing, a lot of people get upset because they say, "Why is he doing all this? Why is he still looking like that? It's like a waste if you're not competing." But he probably appears in front of more people around the world than if he was competing.
Ron, again, it's not a waste because you need to remember, he's working with George Farah. George Farah does not believe in a lot of drugs and stuff. So you know what? He's healthy. We do his blood work. Everything is good. It's not like those, young kids are wasting their time taking that stuff, taking amount of stuff that, I swear I want to punch them sometimes. They come to me. I'm like, so what are you taking? I'm like, who the hell the coach that giving you this? Yeah. Dude, how these coaches, I don't understand how they can sleep at night. Honestly, how can you give a kid like this, 18, 20 or whatever, and you're giving him something like, how can you go to sleep? Yeah. So no, I'm happy with what Kai's doing. He's waiting for the right moment. Don't count him out. Kai is a bodybuilder in heart, like I said, man. And you know what? He wants to look good. So what's wrong with working out, eating good, and eating? So you have to be like looking terrible, and you know what I mean? No,
I think it's he's got so many fans and so many fans that follow the sport of bodybuilding, and I can say it myself because I'm a fan and I'm frustrated. I want to see Kai at the Olympia every year. I want to see him. He's won a bunch of Arnold Classics, but I want to see him in the big shows because he's a very unique, very special guy, and he raises the bar every time he's there.
Exactly. I want to see the same thing. As a coach, we talk, me and him. He has so much love for the game, and he really wants to give back. But to be quite honest with you, like when we talked about the Olympia, he said, George, that's not the Olympia I want to come back. That's not the Olympia they're trying to give me, an invite. Yeah. He said, I want Phil. I want Roden. I want, a Wolf. I want all these guys because those are the guys I want to beat. I don't want to just go because, it's convenience for me that I'm going to win. He goes, no, I don't want to do it that way. I want to do it the right way. So you know what? Maybe, guys, he's a 41 years old or whatever, but guess what, man? He's still young. He still has a lot of gas in his tank. You guys saw what I did with Dexter, man. Dexter's 50 years old in a month or so. Yeah. So, you know what? Sky's the limit. We're still going to see Kai on the stage, I promise.
Thank you. Appreciate that. That gives a lot of us hope. A lot of us are... It's cool to see him on Instagram and this and that, but I'm like, come on, Kai. And, I got to have a lot of respect for him because to come back and win the Olympia this year with so many key players missing, everyone would, it would be easy to say big deal. Who'd you beat? Big deal.
You don't want it. You don't want it that way. You don't want it that way. You know how Kai is.
All right, let's get to Dexter. We got to wrap it up by talking about the man, the Blade. He'll be 50 years old. A lot of people, and myself included, we were starting to write Dexter off because his legs were starting to go on him, and I've seen it. We've seen it so many times before. Once these guys are over 40 and their legs start to go, that's pretty much the end. They never get their legs back, and their placings go lower, 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 until they're like getting fourth call out, and one day they just say, "All right, I guess I'll stop competing." And I thought Dexter was headed in that direction, but
not when they have somebody like me day and night researching. What do we need to do? What do we need to do? What do we need to do? And you know what? Like so many things I used to tell Dexter, and he'll argue with me. Like how Dexter always liked to argue. I love him. He's my brother. He likes to argue, but you know what? What's so good about Dexter too? Like he'll call you like, "Damn, you're right, bro. You're right, bro." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So he admit when he's wrong. Like I was giving you like an example. I told him, "Dexter, man, I want you to tan." He goes, "What? Are you crazy, man? You see my color?" I'm like, "Dexter, listen to me. It's not for color. It's not for this. I want to do it for this 1, 2, 3." And then next thing like not even 4 or 5 days later, he goes, "Damn, boy, you know your shit."
Yeah.
How Dexter is.
Right.
I'm like, "I love you, Dexter." So now with the legs, the same thing. We have some stuff. We talked about it. I said, "Listen, like a lot of people think about heavy. Okay,
Right.
let's just go back and start looking. What we really need to do. You know what I'm saying? Look at the people with the biggest legs. That's how I start. I said, when I do research on something, I start, okay, who have the biggest something? Like, I want to do some. Who have the biggest? Okay, Tom Platz.
Tom Platz.
Tom Platz. And next thing, Kai Greene and Branch Warren. You know what I mean?
Yep.
And it happened, I'm lucky that I have 2 of those guys. They're my clients, between
Right.
Branch and So I'm looking at their workout. I'm looking at Tom when he used to work out at 5 in the morning. Tom never did squat less than 25 reps.
Wow.
Go look it. Look
I
it.
believe it because I remember.
I told
seeing
Dexter, I said,
videos.
"Listen, man, we don't want to train our joint. Listen, I don't care how old you are. Okay, now if you're natural and you're old, it's one thing. But we whatever is missing, we're providing it. You know what I mean? Dexter's very smart. He goes to the doctor. We check his blood. Whatever's missing is getting provided. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So there's no reason for you not to grow, or at least stay as big as you are, if you're taking the stuff that it's missing synthetically. You see what I'm saying?
You're maintaining a proper hormonal environment.
Exactly. But now, if you're older and you go into the gym and you want to do 6 and 7 reps and 4 reps and 1 rep, that's not going to happen, brother, because the bones and the joint are giving up. Yeah. And if somebody throws racket squat on his back and did 8 and 7 reps and stuff, that's a power lifter. That's not a bodybuilder, because we know that your legs are gonna give up before your back, and you know how it is. So what you need to do is not train your joint, start training your muscles, and it kind of like that's what we did. And of course, there's some secret. I talked to your boss about him, but it's really like there's a lot of cool stuff that eventually I'm gonna be like talking about it on my Instagram. You guys should go follow me there. So
what is that Instagram, George? Let's look it up.
Yes, it's George Farah _guru. So I always have some.
Okay.
Yeah, so I always have some, like some cool stuff happening. They are controversial. Just like when I talk about the protein and people attacking me and stuff. I'm like, you know what? Okay, you guys love study and you like study. I said, give me one study that somebody who's taken a lot of steroids and taken a lot of protein and his kidney's still good. Go ahead. Give me one study. None.
There are none.
You know why? Because they go and study with people like, okay, we give somebody for 1 year. No, dude, forget about 1 year and forget about 2 year study. We're talking about lifetime commitment here. We're talking about 20, 30 years of lifting heavy and taking stuff and using, using a higher amount of protein. You are gonna get hurt, my friend. The protein are toxic. Too much of it is toxic. It's period's death. I'm sure people now, they're gonna come, he's full of crap. He doesn't. Dude, whatever. You do what you gotta do. God bless you. I'll be praying for everybody. That's all I can say.
Oh, man.
You know what I mean? But that's what we did with Dexter. We went back to the basic stuff, really like, whatever workout that you feel bringing you the most, blood to that, area, that's what you're going to stick with. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's what we did. We went for the pump more because, as you all know, That's why people, they used to do, remember that pump and pulls and stuff. Why? So you can get more volume into that muscle.
Oh,
So the more volume you
they're
bring it
still using
naturally.
Synthol is bigger than ever, I think. But anyway,
I know. With so many guys that they're gonna be Mr. Olympia or whatever, and I wish they can be on the stage and be Mr. Olympia. I want to see what they're gonna do, but but the bottom line, seriously, you just gotta use your brain, man. You can't just be like, oh yeah, do this, do that. No, you always have to think. I'm not saying George Farah is the best. Dude, George Farah is the worst. Don't come to me because I have about 8 months waiting list. But seriously, what you need to do, you need to take somebody, man, and look at his resume, look at what he did in his life. Has he ever been pro? Did he make it to the Olympia? Was he among these guys? And then that's how you make your decision on. And I'm not taking nothing away from everybody.
yeah.
But honestly, you should think about, man, who you want to hire, why you want to hire that person, and most importantly, you're gonna have chemistry with that guy. If you don't, stay away, leave, go somewhere else. There's a lot of guys. Leave me, man. You know what? You don't see me out there bitching and stuff. We're talking about pros.
Yeah.
I don't. You know what? It's so funny. A lot of them come back to me.
Yeah.
A lot of them come back because they say, man, this guy really is the real deal. So I'm blessed.
Cool. Well, last question about Dexter. What are his chances at winning the Olympia? I personally think they're very high.
Man, you're asking the wrong person. He is going to win the Olympia.
Okay, great. That's perfect. I mean, why not?
When we get done at Tampa, I went to Mr. Weinberger and asked him. I said, "Hey, what Dexter have to do different?" He said, "Honestly, his stomach." I said, "I got it. Don't worry, because I know why his stomach was extended." And now, we talked, me and Dexter. I want you to do 1, 2, 3, whatever, Georgie. You're right, And he said, "Man, you're right, man. I woke up today looking unbelievable." And that was just, I just got out of the hospital, earlier today. Yeah. So he was like very excited that we at least found what's going on. And you guys gonna see his stomach and his waistline like never before, honestly.
Well, that's good to hear, because that's the only thing I was really worried about. Because in Tampa, he looked freaking awesome, but the stomach, the midsection was protruding at times.
Just from the side.
Right.
But, from the front looks good. But, anybody that, like you, Ron, and some of the people who have the good trained eyes, they notice. Just like Steve, God bless him, he told me, he said, listen, he fixed this. He could win the Olympia, no problem. He goes, I don't see anybody beating him, especially his legs are back, his quads, his back. Dude, did you see? Dude, are you kidding me? I'm not even 50. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You see his glute?
Yeah, no loose skin.
I don't even have ass. My ass is gone.
Yeah, I mean, we've all seen the Masters Olympia shows, and there were guys there between 45 and 50 with just saggy glutes and a lot of loose skin under their pecs, and it was just Dexter's body still. If you couldn't see his face, he doesn't look like.
God bless him.
Doesn't look like a 20-year-old in the face. He's not. But from the neck down, you'd never, ever know how old he was.
Wow. The tightness of his skin, the texture of his skin, everything. You know what? He's blessed. He
must moisturize. Lotion.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, George, man, you've been very generous with your time. I appreciate it very much. I'm so happy that, you're cancer-free now for 3 years, you said?
Yes,
yeah,
yes. I just did actually today we did my scan and my CT scan for my chest and abdominal. And, thank God, everything looking good. Dude, I'm blessed. And I want to thank all the people out there, because I get so many prayers, man. I'm talking from all over the world, man. People are praying for me. And it's just amazing, man. I was so touched with so many people praying. And the most importantly, that God answered those prayers.
Yeah. Well, you know what, George? You've put out so much positive energy all these years. You're always one of those guys, if I run into you at a show, it's always an uplifting experience. You're always in a good mood. You're always smiling. And I know things can't always be going perfectly in your life or at that show at the time, but you always try to find the positive, and I think people pick up on that, and people gravitate toward that. We need,
what, Ron?
more
Before I leave, I want to tell the viewers something is very important. Okay, listen, we all breathe the same air. We're all born the same way. Right here, you see, right here, that stomach.
Yeah.
We have an unlimited amount of happiness, an unlimited amount of sadness. it's up to you as an individual which one you choose. So you know what? I always choose to take the happiness out.
Nice.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
It's that simple. People make it so hard, man. It's not really that hard. It's not that hard, you guys. Just be happy, keep on smiling. I promise you, if you stay positive, positive things gonna come your way.
Awesome. Instagram one more time, George, for those people.
George Farah Guru _. No, actually, I'm sorry. George Farah _Guru. I'm that good with the freaking internet.
I'm gonna have Nate. I'm gonna have you put that under there. All right. Well,
Yeah,
George,
please.
thank you so much. I will see you again in Vegas very soon, sir.
Love you guys. I'll see you in Vegas all. And make sure anybody see me, please come and shake my hand because I love this.
Awesome. All right,
Thank
everybody.
you, Ron. Thank you. Thank you, MD.
Thank you. Thanks for watching Ronline Report with George Farah. We'll see you next time.